She picked up the phone and the voice, trembling yet determined, spoke on the other end. "I need to talk to you. It's about your husband." At that moment, she felt her heart sink, as if she already knew the storm that was about to hit her world. Welcome to another episode of Podcast with Sheila, where we share real life stories that inspire, teach, and sometimes shake us to the core. Today, whilst making a delicious fish sandwich with black olives and jalapeno pepper, plus a rich, flavorful wrap sauce, I bring you a story that is raw, intense, and heart-wrenching. Grab a seat and let's dive in. Sophie had been through enough storms in her marriage to know that whenever she saw an unknown number persistently calling, it meant trouble. But this time, she had ignored the calls for too long. Then came the message. "I need to talk to you. It's about your husband." Her fingers hesitated over the screen. Part of her wanted to delete the message and pretend it didn't exist. But another part, tired, worn, and desperate for truth, forced her to reply. "Who are you?" she texted back. The response came almost instantly. "I'm the woman your husband promised to marry." Sophie's breath caught in her throat. The world around her blurred. She had managed to type back, "And why are you telling me this?" The reply shattered her. "Because I was a fool. I believed his lies, and now I know the kind of man he truly is, and I need to ask you for forgiveness." The call finally happened that evening. Sophie sat at the kitchen table, phone pressed to her ear, hands trembling as she stirred the wrap sauce absent-mindedly. The woman on the other end, her voice soft, broken, introduced herself as Lauren. She told her everything. How her husband had persuaded her, fed her sweet words, and painted Sophie as a villain. How he had convinced her that Sophie was cold, unloving, a burden to his life. He had promised to leave his wife, swearing that he was only staying for the children. For 2 years, Lauren had believed him. She had loved him, giving him everything. And then she had gotten pregnant. The excitement had been short-lived. One moment, he was telling her that they would build a new life together. Then next, he was avoiding her calls, showing up at odd hours, making excuses. Then came the worst part. She miscarried, and he never showed up at the hospital. He didn't even care. Lauren's voice cracked through the phone. "I was grieving alone. I realized then I was nothing to him, just another woman he used and discarded." Sophie closed her eyes, feeling her own pain mirrored in Lauren's words. "Why are you calling me now?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Because I see now that you are not the enemy. I was wrong to believe him, and I can't live with this guilt without telling you. I am sorry." Sophie sat in silence, staring at the bubbling sauce. Her mind raced. This wasn't just about another woman. This was about her marriage, a prison of emotional neglect, verbal abuse, and financial control. For years, she had endured. When he traveled for months and years and never called, she endured. When he dismissed her concerns and nagging, she endured. When he belittled her dreams, controlled the finances, and left her to raise the children alone, she endured. Why? Because society told her that a good wife stays, that a mother sacrifices. But here she was, living with the consequences of loving a man who had never truly loved her. And now, this woman, the one he had betrayed her with, was asking for forgiveness. Lauren, Sophie finally spoke. I don't know if I can forgive you today. Maybe one day. But tell me something. If I were your sister, what would you tell me to do? The line was silent for a moment. Then Lauren whispered, I will tell you to leave. You deserve better. Sophie's chest tightened. It was the answer she had always known, but never admitted to herself. Ladies, how much is too much to endure in a relationship? When does loyalty turn into self-destruction? Sophie's story is a painful reminder that sometimes the people we fight to keep are the very ones who are tearing us apart. A marriage should be built on love, respect, and partnership, not on lies, neglect, or abuse. If you are in a relationship where you constantly feel abandoned, manipulated, or broken, remember, endurance is not the same as love. Know your worth, set your boundaries, and if the love you are fighting for is slowly killing you, it's okay to walk away. And that is it for today on Podcast with Sheila. As I finish cooking our fish sandwich with black olives and jalapeno pepper, alongside with delicious wrap sauce, I want you to reflect on today's story. Have you ever been in Sophie's shoes? Do you know someone who is? Let's start the conversation. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and join in every Tuesday from 5:30 p.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. UK time for our live interviews with special guests. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and stay true to yourself. Bon appétit!